In the heart of Egypt's ancient landscape, where the desert sands whisper tales of glory, loss, and transformation, a new chapter has been unearthed, one that has captured the attention of the world and reignited age-old legends. This is the story of the cursed tomb of the unknown pharaoh, a tale that bridges the mysteries of antiquity with the relentless curiosity of our modern age. It began with a discovery that, even by Egypt's storied standards, was extraordinary. In March of 2025, a team of archaeologists working near the fabled site of Abydos announced that they had found a tomb unlike any other. Buried beneath 7 meters of parched earth in the Anubis mountain necropolis, concealed for nearly 36 centuries, lay a limestone burial chamber. Its presence was a silent testament to an era marked by turmoil and transition. The Second Intermediate Period, a time when Egypt was fractured, its power divided, its royal lineages contested. The tomb's entrance, once sealed and adorned with intricate hieroglyphic inscriptions, had long since been violated. Ancient grave robbers, whose own stories have vanished into the dust, had stripped the chamber of its treasures and, crucially, the name of its royal occupant. The identity of the pharaoh for whom this grand tomb was constructed remains a mystery lost to time. Only faint traces of inscriptions hinted at possible connections to King Sennaib or Pentgeni, shadowy figures from a dynasty whose history is as fragmented as the artifacts left behind. To this day, their final resting places have never been confirmed. Stepping into the tomb, archaeologists were struck by its size and complexity. Within the limestone chamber, a network of ancillary rooms extended beneath the earth, each capped by high mud brick vaults. It was not the work of a minor noble or provincial governor, but a monument befitting a ruler. Its scale and architectural ambition suggested it was the largest, and perhaps earliest, of the royal tombs built by the so-called Abydos dynasty, a lineage that rose to prominence during Egypt's darkest interregnum. Professor Joseph Wagner, a leading figure on the excavation team, noted the tomb's significance, placing it within the larger mortuary complex of Pharaoh Neferhotep III's. He and his colleagues recognized that this was more than just another burial. It was a portal to a time when Egypt's political and spiritual identity was in flux. The Second Intermediate Period, spanning roughly 1782 to 1570 BCE, was an age of division. As the mighty Middle Kingdom waned, foreign powers and local dynasties vied for supremacy. Abydos, long a sacred city, became the seat of a short-lived but pivotal dynasty, whose legacy is only now coming into focus. Yet, as news of the discovery spread, so too did whispers of an ancient curse. The phrase cursed tomb conjures images of vengeful spirits and sudden misfortune. Popular imagination, fueled by the tragic events that followed the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, is quick to associate the disturbance of royal graves with inexplicable calamity. In the case of Tutankhamun, several members of the excavation team succumbed to mysterious illnesses or accidents in the years following their triumph. The legend of the pharaoh's curse was born, capturing the world's fascination, though science has since debunked such claims as coincidental rather than supernatural. Still, the idea of a curse lingers in the popular psyche, particularly when a tomb's occupant remains nameless, their story incomplete. The cursed tomb of the unknown pharaoh, as it has come to be called, is no exception. Journalists and online commentators have speculated about the dangers of disturbing a burial site that has, for so long, evaded both discovery and desecration by modern hands. But what does this latest find truly reveal? And what, if anything, is the legacy of curses in the context of Egyptian archaeology? To understand the significance of this tomb, it's important to look beyond the allure of curses and focus on the historical and cultural context. The Second Intermediate Period was a time of chaos and uncertainty. Egypt was divided between rival dynasties: the Hyksos, foreign rulers in the north, the Theban kings in the south, and, in the heart of the country, the enigmatic Abydos dynasty. This period saw the breakdown of centralized power, the erosion of traditional authority, and the rise of local warlords. Yet, it was also a time of resilience and adaptation. The rulers of Abydos, though short-lived, asserted their legitimacy through monumental building projects and elaborate burial practices. The newly uncovered tomb is a testament to these ambitions. Its construction required vast resources and the labor of hundreds, if not thousands, of workers. The chamber's limestone walls, once polished to a gleaming finish, bore witness to ceremonies that invoked both the gods and the ancestors. Even in its plundered state, the tomb radiates the solemnity and grandeur of royal burial. The mystery of the unknown pharaoh's identity only deepens its allure. The fragmentary hieroglyphs at the entrance once told a story. A royal titulary, perhaps, or a litany of divine favor. But they are now lost, scraped away by those who sought not knowledge, but gold. Archaeologists have traced faint marks that suggest the names Sennaib or Payent Geni, rulers whose very existence is known only from scattered references in king lists and damaged steles. If this tomb did indeed belong to one of them, it would fill a crucial gap in our understanding of the Abydos dynasty and the broader tapestry of Egyptian history. Despite the tomb's desecration, the structure itself has yielded a wealth of information. Pottery shards, fragments of funerary furniture, and remnants of ritual offerings paint a vivid picture of burial customs during the Second Intermediate Period. The layout of the rooms, the orientation of the burial chamber, and the architectural techniques used in the construction all point to a synthesis of old and new traditions, a blending of Middle Kingdom orthodoxy with the innovations of a turbulent age. But what of the supposed curse? Is there any substance to the legends that swirl around such discoveries? The evidence, both historical and scientific, is clear. While the ancient Egyptians did inscribe warnings and protective spells on tomb walls, these were symbolic, meant to deter would-be thieves and to safeguard the soul of the departed in the afterlife. The concept of a literal curse, one that reaches across millennia to strike down the living, is a modern invention, born more from colonial anxieties and the sensationalism of the early 20th century press than from actual ancient belief. In reality, the greatest danger faced by those who enter such tombs is far more mundane. The collapse of unstable structures, exposure to toxic mold or ancient pathogens, and the ever-present risk of damaging, irreplaceable artifacts. Archaeologists today proceed with caution, guided by both reverence for the past and the rigorous protocols of modern science. Yet, the aura of mystery endures. The very fact that the tomb's occupant remains nameless lends an air of unfinished business, a sense that the past has not yet yielded all its secrets. For the people of ancient Egypt, identity was everything. To be known, to have one's name spoken and remembered, was the surest path to immortality. The erasure of a pharaoh's name, whether by accident or design, was a fate worse than death, a second eternal obliteration. As excavations continue, researchers hope to find further clues, perhaps a hidden inscription, a seal, or a fragment of jewelry bearing a royal cartouche that will finally restore the unknown pharaoh to their rightful place in history. Each artifact recovered, each layer of sand brushed away, brings us closer to understanding not just who this ruler was, but what their reign meant in the grand narrative of Egypt's evolution. The discovery of the tomb has also reignited interest in the broader history of Abydos itself. One of the oldest and most sacred cities in Egypt, Abydos was the cult center of Osiris, god of the afterlife. For centuries, kings and commoners alike sought burial near its holy precincts, hoping to partake in the god's promise of resurrection. The necropolis where the unknown pharaoh was laid to rest is a labyrinth of tombs, temples, and mortuary chapels, each layer revealing new insights into the changing face of Egyptian civilization. The Second Intermediate Period, once dismissed as a time of decline and chaos, is now seen in a new light. Recent discoveries, including the tomb of the unknown pharaoh, show that even in the midst of political fragmentation, Egyptian society remained vibrant and innovative. Artisans continued to produce works of exquisite beauty, priests maintained ancient rituals, and rulers, though constrained by circumstances, still aspired to leave a mark that would outlast their mortal lives. In the public imagination, the phrase "cursed tomb" evokes a sense of danger, of forbidden knowledge and supernatural retribution. But in truth, the real curse may be our own tendency to overlook the achievements and aspirations of those who lived through difficult times. The unknown Pharaoh, whose name was lost to greed and oblivion, reminds us that history is shaped as much by erasure as by remembrance. As the story of the tomb unfolds, it invites us to reflect on the nature of legacy. What does it mean to be remembered? How do we reconstruct lives from the fragments left behind? And what obligations do we, the living, owe to those whose stories have been silenced? For the archaeologists at Abydos, the discovery is both a triumph and a challenge. They must balance the demands of scientific inquiry with respect for the beliefs and traditions of the past. Every artifact recovered is cataloged and studied, every inscription painstakingly recorded. The goal is not merely to solve a mystery, but to restore dignity to a life that was once celebrated, then forgotten. Looking to the future, the tomb of the unknown Pharaoh promises to reshape our understanding of Egypt's most enigmatic era. Ongoing excavations continue to yield new finds, fragments of wooden coffins adorned with gold leaf, ceremonial vessels, the remains of sacrificial animals. Each new discovery adds a piece to the puzzle, illuminating the complexities of a society in transition. The story of the cursed tomb of the unknown Pharaoh is, in the end, a story about humanity's enduring quest for meaning. It is about the ways we honor the dead, the ways we confront the unknown, and the ways we seek to connect with those who came before us. In its silent chambers, beneath layers of stone and earth, lie the hopes and fears of a people who lived in a world not so different from our own, a world shaped by uncertainty, resilience, and the longing for immortality. As researchers continue their painstaking work, they do so in the knowledge that every tomb, every artifact, every inscription is a message from the past, a message that, if we listen closely, can teach us not only about ancient Egypt, but about ourselves. The tomb at Abydos stands as a monument to a forgotten king, and to the enduring mystery of history itself. In the end, perhaps the greatest curse is not the wrath of ancient spirits, but the silence that follows when stories are lost and names are erased. The discovery of the unknown Pharaoh's tomb is a reminder that even in the darkest times, the human desire to be remembered, to leave a legacy, transcends the boundaries of time and fate. And so, as the sands of Egypt shift and the work of discovery goes on, the story of the cursed tomb of the unknown Pharaoh continues, a beacon for all who seek to unravel the mysteries of the past and to preserve them for generations yet to come.